At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Live from Chicago, it's Bleck and Abdalla. And how about this? Finally, somebody in college football is taking the lead on a ridiculous situation that we've seen this summer. Players who go to the NFL draft, they try and make an NFL roster, and this idea that they are trying to go back to college football after leaving college. Go on with your life. Move on with your life. Stop trying to take positions from college football players. I get it. NIL and transfer portal and everything's changed in college football. And finally today, the Big Ten is set to pass a rule today that would say that if a player has declared for the NFL, has tried out for the NFL, tried to make an NFL roster, that they will be ineligible to be on a Big Ten roster this upcoming season and into the future. Now, there are other conferences that it's reported that will follow the lead of the Big Ten because someone needs the lead in college football. The SEC, on the other hand, yesterday just made a statement. No mention of a ineligible rule being passed so players can't play because there are many of these individuals who would be trying to join schools in the SEC specifically. Which you could also argue, Abdalla, that the Big Ten, it's kind of easy for them to have this rule when there's not really anyone trying to join Big Ten rosters that were cut or released or waived from NFL teams here in this summer. And so that's how we start today's show because finally somebody in college football is stepping up, looking at this situation and saying this is absolutely ridiculous.
And this is the problem because, sure, the Big Ten can do this. Cool. The ACC is reportedly going to follow suit and vote to pass the same rule. Awesome. The SEC might try to do this. And, Texas Tech and Sorsby kind of tried to do somewhat of the same thing. And then the conference came out against it. And then, Texas Tech kind of said, hey, this is, we kind of bit off more than we could chew here. And then Sorsby left. And it's obviously a different situation with gambling and all that. Not a guy that went to the NFL and came back, but someone that left school for a reason and then wanted to come back and play. However, you can pass all the rules you want to, right? Athletes are going to go to court and are going to try to circumvent this, is what's going to happen. The issue here is there is no one universal rule for all of college football. There is no universal rule for the ACC, for the Big Ten, for the Big 12, for the SEC, for the independents? Who's stopping a player from Notre Dame from going out and doing this? Who's stopping from the only reason the Big Ten is doing this is, like you said, because Signetti and Indiana aren't doing this. If Signetti and Indiana aren't doing this, then this is a completely different situation. If I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm going to the SEC and be like, guys, what the hell are you doing? Do you want a national championship, or do you want the Big Ten to keep running stuff?
Guys, you're blowing up my spot, man.
Yeah, what are we doing? Because I don't fault the players for doing this. The two players that want to do this are just trying to work the system. Don't hate the player, hate the game. The game is corrupt.
No, it's kind of stupid.
No, the game is broken, dude.
Move
the game
on.
is broken.
You're out of college. Move on.
Okay, good for
Move
you.
on.
You want to say
there
that's
needs
fine.
to be a separation between professionals and college.
You want to say that's fine, but they clearly can't cut it in the NFL. But you can go back and
There's always next year. They can get better. They can work on their craft.
Where?
What do you mean? Just
Where?
because you don't make the NFL as the very first year you're out of school doesn't mean you can't ever make the NFL.
But you can go back to college and make thousands of dollars in NIL.
Okay, but you can also go back and you can go do anything and make thousands. You can get into real estate and make thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but why do that when you could go play college football back at LSU?
Yeah.
Have you been to LSU?
I've never been to Baton Rouge. I've been to Louisiana. It's a great place.
Okay.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I would.
Why wouldn't
I would
you
have
go? Yeah.
no issue living down there.
Okay.
I would love it.
Then-
if at some point in my life, if I can live in New Orleans or in the area, I would love that.
Okay.
I have nothing against it.
Then I don't fault them one bit for trying to work the system. The game is broken. The players are trying to work the system.
But that's why
just like everybody else is going to try to work the system.
Somebody to lead the way in college football.
Yes.
And clearly what we have setting up is there has been a somewhat of a battle between the Big Ten and the SEC in many of these topics, right? Whether it's conference realignment, the college football playoff, NIL, it all comes back to the Big Ten and the SEC and who can swing their stick bigger, right? Who could swing it and who can enforce that they are the ruler of college football. That's what this is. And everything else in college athletics falls in line after that. So you could say, yeah, who cares about the college football part? The reason the college football part matters is that's how the other school sports get their money. They get their funding from the football programs. You know, there's a couple of college basketball programs that provide huge amounts of cash for the other sports programs. You know, UConn is certainly one of those. I'm sure the Duke basketball program contributes a lot of money that's comparable to a football size program, but there's very few in college basketball that actually do that. For the most part, it's the football program around the country. So, like, that's why these are the big items. And yes, so, like, you're right. There's a couple of players. You have two players specifically who played for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss who tried to make the NFL. One with the Browns, one with the Saints, and both are trying to go back to LSU to play for Kiffin. So Kiffin talked about this yesterday. Take a listen to Lane Kiffin explain the situation that LSU is now in.
You know, we have, made a decision to recruit some kids around the country. And, through these multiple injunctions around the country, which this is not a first time, they've been in college sports for a while, a group of players were granted a fifth year of eligibility around the country in multiple sports. And through them winning their injunction and entry into the portal, they're available to recruit. And so ourselves, like many places around the country, are recruiting them. And at the end of the day, because of these rulings, they're either going to play for you or they're going to play somewhere else around the country. So we've made a decision to recruit them, like probably most people are.
So there you go. There's Lane Kiffin. Well, they're going to play somewhere, so they might as well play here with me at LSU.
He's not wrong. If the system is open, take advantage of it until it's not. I don't see what's wrong with it until this. I agree that the system is broken. I agree that the system needs to be, that this is a bad situation and this shouldn't be there. But until it's not, I don't fault Lane Kiffin or these two players from taking advantage of it. Until there is a czar of college football or a commissioner of the entire college football or the SEC passes a rule or the Big Ten or whoever, then take advantage. This is the loophole that college football created. This is the hole you dug yourself into. You are being reactionary by going after and what's, oh no, we allowed a fifth year, and now players that haven't played in a game can go and be in the preseason and then come back. What do we do now? Well, now we have to create a rule that says they can't do that. Oh no, you should have done this from the jump. Just because you didn't think of it doesn't mean that you get to do it in hindsight. Now you have to scramble around and try to do it. You should have thought of this beforehand. It's your fault that you didn't.
I'll be the czar.
That's fine.
You need someone to step up? I'll do it.
Go do it. That's fine.
We're bringing back the Pac-12. We are separating all the conference realignment. We're putting people back.
Great.
Texas, Oklahoma, you're going back to the Big 12.
I hope so.
That's where you belong.
They should.
USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, you're back in the Pac-12. What are we doing with this stupid stuff?
Look, two things can be true at the same time.
I'll be the czar. You get 4 years.
That's great.
Unless your leg falls off. Then I will determine on whether or not you get a red shirt fifth.
You got to, but the leg has to be put back on first.
Yeah, but outside of a leg falling off, 4 years and move on with your life.
That's fine.
One transfer per kid.
Perfect.
You transfer, you got to sit out.
Perfect.
So you transfer, sit out. That means you have to actually weigh your decision on transferring, not this willy-nilly first date. I'm going to be a quarterback here, and then the next time someone else shows up, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm gonna go be a quarterback at this school because I can't have competition in my life.
What about asterisks unless your coach leaves too?
Yeah, we can debate that. Okay. Yeah, coach leaves,
you get to go.
You're free.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that because coaches are unreliable as well.
They get to go whenever they want to.
They get to go so that the coach leaves, everyone's free. Free game.
All right.
Outside of that, if the coach doesn't leave, you're committed. I'm sorry.
Love it.
That is, now, if something is, you really have to go to a different school, by all means. But you're not eligible to play the next season. You have to wait. I think a lot of kids would limit the amount of transfers.
I agree with you.
I think there's a lot to this. And I have nothing against the kids making money. Make the money. Sure. There's nothing wrong with the NIL aspect of it. But turning college sports and turning college football into semi-pro, smaller little brother NFL is not it. Having two main conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC, dictate everything, and turning it into the AFC and the NFC of the professional rank, that's not going to work. It's not. We don't need a larger playoff to then help coaches who are ranked in the teens and the 20s to save face with their universities saying that they made a playoff. Mm-hmm. That's stupid. Mm-hmm. College football is about the best of the best. The regular season matters, and I will be that czar.
And that's fine.
I will do that for you.
And look, that's great, and I appreciate you taking up the job and standing there while everybody throws arrows and tomatoes at you, and that's fine, and putting your head in the stockade while they do that because that's what's going to happen. But until then, the NCAA just let this become the Wild West. And because of that, coaches, players, schools, teams are all taking advantage of it, and this is what they've allowed. So sucks to be them. It sucks to be the other schools that didn't get to do this. The SEC, the other schools, jealousy is a stinky cologne. Well, these two kids decided, or these two players decided not to go to your school, and Lane Kiffin gets to do it because they didn't pick you. Sorry, but Lane's doing it. Deal with it. And until go to another NFL roster and find someone else with a 50-year eligibility and take them while the getting's good. Okay?
See, and that's why when you read the statements, Ohio State coach Ryan Day, he said that, it's definitely something he mentioned on Monday that he would have to consider if a player was eligible.
Of course he would.
Then he also added that he thinks players who have gone to the NFL should not retain their college eligibility, which is how I feel. If you leave, if you are trying to make the NFL, you are saying I am done in college.
Yeah, but I'd consider it. But I'd consider it.
No.
If it's going to help me win a national championship, I'd consider it.
I'm willing to let a college athlete declare for the draft and then walk it all the way up to the draft. And if they say the day before the draft, I'd rather go back to college, then go for it. Go back to college. You have the entire spring. Go through the process. Go through the pro day. Go through the workouts. Go through the meetings. See what it's like.
I don't want to
go through the job interviews. Do it.
I don't want to start a political debate.
Oh, okay, early. 13 minutes into the show.
I don't want to start a political debate.
Should I open the phone lines first?
Yeah, please do.
You can call or text us at 310-840-4910 with your thoughts for Abdalla here.
I don't want to start a political debate, but when does a prospect become an NFL player? Is it at the hug of the commissioner? Is it pre-hug of the commissioner? Is it when he puts the hat on of the team? When does...
No, when you're drafted.
That prospect... So is it when the card is handed in?
When you're drafted,
I want to know, is it at the conception of the card? Is it when the phone call is made to the agent? When is a prospect? When is a prospect turned in? Is it the conceived notion that prospect is going to be an NFL player by the team? When is a prospect a player?
Don't call for this nonsense. Don't text or call for this
When
nonsense.
you tell me, Chris, if you're going to be the czar? No. I
don't want anything to do with this.
You wanted to be the czar.
You worry about conception.
You took this on. I need to know now. You wanted to be the czar. You wanted to be president of college football. You wanted to be the czar. Now, as the czar, you get to decide. Our forefathers decided that you get to be the czar.
Yeah.
You wanted to write the Declaration of College Football. You get to be the czar. When is a prospect a player? Is it at conception of the team when they decide we're going to draft this player?
No.
Is it when the card is handed in? Is it when the phone call is made and the tears start flowing down the face? Is it when the hat is put on? Is it when the hug to the commissioner is made? When does a prospect become a player? Tell me.
I think it's either getting drafted or when you sign a contract to work out like as
pen to paper.
A player who is a part of the off-season roster.
Pen to paper.
That to me is that's what you would go with.
Pen to paper.
Yeah, I think that's it. You know, because like up until getting drafted or signing a contract as a UFA after the draft, you're not a professional. The moment you sign that and you're trying to make a roster, you're a professional player. So that's the moment.
So it's not when the hat is on. So it's not when
the hat's not far from that point, but sure.
So you've got time. So there's a gestation period, you would say. There's a time where you get to marinate and you get to become a little bit. You get to marinate and become a little bit of a player. There's a gestation period where maybe you get to then go to the facility and then maybe before you put pen to paper, because these prospects don't sign right away. These prospects, they don't put pen to paper right away.
Have we ever seen a prospect get drafted and then never sign and then go back to college football? That's not a thing.
I mean, Fernando Mendoza didn't sign until like the day before training camp.
Yeah, but he's also not trying to go back to college football.
My point is, he could have been like, you know what? I want to go back to college life. Campus king.
I can't lie to the listeners. I don't really understand your point.
My point is, I want to know if you're going to be the college, you got to weigh all these things.
No, I understand.
When does a prospect become a player?
I understand weighing the options here and having to make a decision. I don't understand why you're hung up on this.
I just want to know.
I think I laid it out pretty good. Once you sign a contract to be a part of a team, you know, in the off-season program, I think that's when you're a professional.
Okay, so so you're telling me that contract signing, pen to paper.
Once you're getting paid as a professional, you're a professional.
So pen to paper.
Yes, that's it. You're not going back to college. That's
so once you get paid, so when cash hits the account.
Yeah, or whenever you sign that contract.
Oh, see, now you don't know. See, now you're being wishy-washy, Chris.
No, because
now you're being wishy-washy. Once again, our czars are being wishy-washy, people. Once again, our czars cannot commit. This is the czar you want, people. This is the czars you want. This is the people that you voted for. This is the czars that you want. I'm telling you, I will be your czar of college football.
Oh,
Vote
you want this?
Vote
you
Abdalla.
Want this?
Absolutely not. I don't want this job. Are you kidding me? You couldn't even be in the chair for 5 minutes.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM, channel 375. All of our great radio affiliates around the country. We're on the air until 3 Eastern. Bleck Abdalla live from Chicago. You can always call or text at 310-840-4910. So that's big news today. The Big Ten leading the way. They are set to put in place a rule that would limit college football players who sign a deal, who get drafted, who do not withdraw from the NFL draft process, who appear on an NFL roster, who have signed a contract in a pro league in the offseason, that they will not be able to return to a Big Ten roster. The ACC's Jim Phillips has mentioned that they plan to do the same thing today, to have conversations about that. Same with the Big 12. And we will see if the SEC follows. It seems like the SEC and the Big Ten are at odds under a lot of things. It seems like the SEC wanted to have a strongly worded statement, but without any actual action behind it, because LSU is to benefit by having players return back to Lane Kiffin in the school here in this offseason.
And Ryan Day is like, I don't like it.
I don't like it. I'd have to consider it.
If it helps me win a national championship this year, come on in.
Then there was one quarterback battle remaining, that is, and has it finally given an update? We'll tell you about that coming up next. Football is back and something big is coming. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives.
New DraftKings customers sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That includes all markets.
That's code BNA26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Connecticut. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas. Bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Canada. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Bet to get bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Trade to get predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. $50 in rewards issued every 7 days via click to claim for 21 days. One non-withdrawable reward redeemable. Terms at dkng.co/offer. Limited time offer. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
College football is back this weekend. Headlined by Bill Belichick and North Carolina facing TCU. And we've got the game live from Dublin, Ireland. So grab a Guinness and listen on the Westwood One Sports app. TCU, Carolina, Saturday at noon Eastern. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
How bad does Tua Tagovailoa have to be that he's essentially been in this quarterback battle by himself here in the offseason and in training camp and in the preseason? And Michael Penix shows up, practices for the first time yesterday since November. Full participation from Michael Penix. And it seems like this is a competition that's on. That Penix has a chance to become the starting quarterback for the Falcons, which that's why I started the conversation by saying, boy, how bad does Tua Tagovailoa have to be if that's the case?
Well, you thought that a guy who was basically recruited essentially by Kevin Stefanski and this coaching staff to come in and take it's a no-risk deal for the ownership group, for the management team, for the coaching staff, because the Dolphins are paying the entire contract, essentially. This is a veteran minimum deal, a few $1 million to come in. And much like the Kyler Murray deal in Minnesota, to come in, prove what you can do, and rehab your image. And if it works, great, sign an extension with the Falcons and be their future quarterback. And if it doesn't work, then it's no risk for the Falcons to do this and push Penix. And if he wins the job, okay, cool. That's the best case scenario for the Falcons and Kevin Stefanski and this coaching staff. And then you can move on from Tua. He can be a backup, and it's a low-cost backup again. And you can move on at the end of the season if you want to, because it's only a few $1 million. And you're right. He's got to be pretty bad, because for a guy who is just cleared to do 11 on 11 drills on like Sunday, you got to be pretty bad, because everybody else has named a starter. All the battles have been settled. Everything is set. We're 15 days away from the start of the regular season.
Yeah,
and
we're about 2 weeks out.
The Falcons have yet to name a starter for their game, for their opener, and we still don't know. And I would imagine everybody thought it was going to be Tua. But again, how long is Tua going to be able to stay healthy? How long is Penix going to be able to stay healthy if it's him? I would imagine we're going to see an equal amount of games between the two quarterbacks, regardless of who it is.
Now, to be fair, the Falcons open the season on the Sunday, so the 13th.
Ooh, they got like 3 more days.
Yeah. So they have about 18 days until the start of their season. Well, I'm just saying, like, when you say 15, it's like, what are you guys messing around
18's
for?
not much more.
Yeah, but divide by 6.
No.
That's 3.
18's not much more.
You can kind of fudge the numbers there for almost 2.5 weeks or so, right? Like, got a little time. They open with on the road at Pittsburgh, a 1 Eastern kick on the 13th. So that's how the season starts for the Falcons, as Michael Penix gets his first full work with the 11-on-11 in practice since November. Take a listen. Here's Ian Rappaport talking about the Falcons' plans at quarterback and how it's changed.
The goal of the entire organization was to have Tua be the starting quarterback right away to start the season, let Michael Penix come along slow. Remember, it's still 9 months or so from the ACL tear. Really, you'd like him to be inactive for the first several games and really just take his time and make sure he's fully healthy. Tua's play made that impossible, not just in the preseason game, which we've seen, but sounds like practice as well. All of which is to say, this is Michael Penix's job for the taking. If he comes out and plays as well as he can, it actually could create the best case scenario for the Atlanta Falcons. Remember, this is a young quarterback they drafted. They really liked. He's got a great arm. He has for sure had moments. If he comes in and seizes the job, they may not just have their quarterback for right now, for week 1. They may have their quarterback for the future. And whatever it says about Tua, as Mike would say, that would be a different show. But that would be a great answer for the Atlanta Falcons. If Penix came out and proved for sure, Rhett, that he would be their starting quarterback now and moving forward.
So there you go. There's Ian Rappaport on ESPN talking about it. I would say this. In college, I was a Penix guy. As we looked towards the NFL draft and we worked up that class and tried to figure out who the best quarterback of that group was, he wasn't in my top 3. But with that said, I thought he was going to be good. And so to this point in his NFL career, we haven't seen any of the flashes. He hasn't been healthy. And a part of what I thought was something that he could carry over to the NFL is I thought he had the intangibles of being a winner. We saw that in college, right? And what he was able to accomplish at Washington, they were a really good team. So I'm surprised that he hasn't done like anything in the NFL. Not saying he can't, but would it, based on what Rappaport said there, would it surprise you at the end of this season if Penix stayed healthy, is the starting quarterback for the majority of the season? And we're looking at Penix in the grouping with Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix and Drake May and Caleb Williams.
If he stays healthy?
If he stays healthy.
I don't know. At this point, it's going to be tough because you're working within a new offense. You haven't had any real offseason with this offense. You've been limited because of your health. You've only been able to participate in a very limited amount of the preseason, in a very limited amount of drills, in a very limited amount of off-season workouts. You had no real preseason whatsoever as far as games go, any live action. You just started 11-11s on Sunday. So, I don't know exactly what you're going to be able to show in the regular season. Like I said, if you're going to be able to show what you can, and this is going to come down to the final week of preparations, is he going to be ready to go and play in this final preseason game? Is he going to be able to ready to go? Because he's started the last 2 years in 12 games.
Yeah.
In 2 years. So is he going to be, you said if he stays healthy, 12 games in 2 years.
Well, I mean, isn't that the entire conversation with Penix, right?
That's the problem. But again, even if he does stay healthy, how much of a grasp of this offense is he going to have to be able to perform well enough in a preseason game this weekend?
It's Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. That's really the only quarterback battle left in the NFL, right?
Well, I mean Mendoza and Kirk Cousins
they keep saying it's going to be Cousins.
They say it's Cousins. However, after the game, Clint Kubiak said he wants the guys to keep battling. He wants the guys to keep pushing each other. To me, that means that we'll see what happens. I don't think he said whether Kirk Cousins is going to play in the final game this weekend or not. And if Mendoza plays well, maybe there's a chance. I don't know how much the Ashton Genty injury means for Mendoza starting or not. I don't think it should mean anything. And injuries can happen to anybody. So what? If a guy gets injured, you're just going to take your starter out. If Tyler Linderbaum, their center, gets injured, you're just going to automatically take Mendoza out.
That's why I didn't get about that. It's like it doesn't. You play the player if the player's ready to go.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter who else is playing. You don't say, oh, well, he's missing his number one tight end, so we're not going to start the quarterback. Like, what? That's idiotic.
Yeah.
That's not something. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. We are also talking about the big story today. The Big Ten is set to pass a rule that would allow any player to return to college after being drafted, signing a contract, or doing anything really in the NFL, essentially giving up their eligibility for college. And the Big Ten is set to pass a rule that if you declare for any of that stuff with the NFL, you cannot be added to a Big Ten roster. If we go to the text line, the 501, it says any sort of contract that's signed makes you professional. So if you sign a contract in the NFL of any sort, drafted, off-season workout, off-season program, trying to make a squad, you are now done in college football. I agree with that. I think that's a fair way to look at it.
Okay, sign the contract.
From the 814, the text reads, these kids are professionals in college and in the NFL. Until the NCAA grows a pair, it's going to be the wild, wild west. That's from RJ in the 814.
Mm-hmm.
He's right. I mean, that's what it's become. It is absolutely the wild, wild west.
They open this up for everything and everyone. NIL to come in from everywhere, from the school itself to the car dealership on the corner to everything. You said you wanted players to get paid. Now they get paid from everywhere. There's no regulation. There's no regulation on how long they can stay or whether they can leave and come back or eligibility. Guys are in the G League and come back. Guys are in the NBA and then come back. Like there's no regulation. That's the problem. There needed to be regulation years ago, and now you're mad because guys are taking advantage of the system. You can't be reverse mad about it.
From the 720, the text reads, what about the NFL team that drafts a player in the third or the fourth round who decides to go back to college, and now the team loses a valuable pick? Players need to declare before the draft. Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing in these conversations about that is you're not going to see a valuable draft pick type player go back.
No, because you get money.
Those contracts are too valuable, right? That's why... Remember, there was always the conversation we've had in the past about will someone stay in college over the NFL? And I think it even came up with Dante Moore. Didn't we kind of loosely talk about it with Dante Moore?
Or even Arch Manning. People were like, it's like, dude, those contracts are so expensive.
Especially if you're a first rounder. You would never stay in college and pass up first round money because it's guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And it's we were just last week talking about Jeremiah Love, the third pick overall. He is the highest paid running back in football right now.
Yes.
Not in the future. His contract is the highest guaranteed dollar amount that a running back has ever received in the NFL.
Yeah, this year.
He hasn't played in the NFL yet.
Because of where he was drafted.
Because of the draft spot. So, I don't know if that, but I could see a 6th or 7th round pick not making a team and going back to college. I think that's there.
Yeah.
From the 541, the text referring to the Atlanta Falcon conversation. Why didn't Atlanta go after Malik Willis?
Because Malik Willis is making like $20 million a year, and the Falcons wanted someone that was going to make like $2 million a year. You know, there's a huge difference.
I do think what the Rappaport sound explained is I do think their best case scenario is if Michael Penix develops into a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's there. He's drafted. That's
I also
the
think
guy.
Malik Willis also wanted to go to a place where he was going to play. Like, I think Malik Willis didn't want to go into a battle. Like, Malik Willis went to the Dolphins, and you're the starter. You know, there was no battle with the Dolphins. Like, there wasn't you're going to compete with this guy or this guy. Malik Willis went to the Dolphins. He's the starter this year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Going to Atlanta would have meant for Malik Willis himself, because, you know, you have to they can't just say, Malik Willis, we're going to go to you and give you money. Malik Willis has to agree to that and then agree to the parameters. He didn't want to compete. He can go to the Dolphins and play all year and showcase his talents rather than have to compete for a spot.
A big-time defensive player could be on the move in the NFL, and it's not Max Crosby. We'll tell you who that is coming up next.
The Browns named Deshaun Watson their starting quarterback. Has there ever been a Week 1 starter less popular with his own fan base?
Last time I played on this field, I tore my Achilles. And that same fan base, they cheered when I got hurt. So what does that have to do with anything about performance? When a person get hurt, especially for your own city, and they cheer.
He complained about the fans, then immediately was named their QB. That's a new one, even for Cleveland.
You know, it is what it is. You know, sometimes, the tables turn.
Westwood One Sports.
Hey, chat. What's up, guys? It's Raj. I'm just testing a couple things for you guys. I wanted to see if you guys hear me. If you guys can hear me, if you could let me know in the chat, that would be great. I sound like Lumberg from Office Space. That would be great. So shout out to everybody on the chat. Do you hear me? Okay, I see Grendel. I see Trey. Okay, awesome. All right, this is working.
Can you hear
this
me
is
when
good.
I
This
talk
is
to
fun.
you here?
How's everybody's Tuesday doing? What do we think of the rivalries uniforms?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen them yet? Like the new Bears uniform and the Titans uniform and the Jags? I see it. I saw a comment earlier that they were all bad. Who said that? Yeah. I do hear you, Roy.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes.
Hey, Raj, how you
I'm
doing?
talking to our chat as well.
Hello.
Talking to them what they think about the rivalries uniforms. Somebody threw in the chat that they were all bad. I don't think they're all bad. Grendel said he's not a fan of the Bears one. They're okay. You know, I mean, they kind of are what they are, right? They're like, they're a one-game sell-off. Hey, Daily Roy, awesome. I do not hear Roy. If you guys, do you guys hear Roy on the chat? I don't hear him. Do you guys hear Roy? If you guys hear Roy, put in the chat. We hear Roy. I'm watching now to see if anybody says it. While we're waiting. Oh, Grendel says, yep. Okay, so you guys hear Roy. So Roy, if you can hear me, they hear you, but I don't. As we continue to test things. John Roy. Oh, now I hear you, Roy. Now I just heard you say still, but I didn't hear anything before that. David said Roy is yelling at you, Raj. I am sorry, you guys. Live testing during the break of a stream as we're working some things out on the back end. I could hear Roy frantically calling your name. LOL. The only way we can test this is live, which is what makes it fun. The rivalry uniforms are what they are. They're like a one-game sell-off. Who is Roy? Roy is our wonderful board operator in Culver City. We love Roy. Roy is terrific. We have another Roy on the YouTube chat. What's up, Roy? And John only hears me. So this experiment is clearly going extremely well as we all learn to love technology and work through things. So anyway, we'll get. I think we're gonna get to the rivalries uniforms a little bit later and get your guys' thoughts on them. I don't think they're terrible. They are what they are. You know, just to sell some merch, sell some jerseys. I know we got a lot of Bears fans in here. I was texting with Bleck Abdalla about him earlier. Yes, Roy.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes.
Okay. I did not hear Roy, Matt. Here, hold on. I'm going to do something real quick. Hang on.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Hey guys. Hello, hello, hello. Raj, can you hear me? If
I do.
talk to you
I
here.
think we figured out the setting. Chat,
Okay.
Can you guys hear Roy? Say hi, Roy.
Hello.
Did you guys hear Roy? And do you hear me? Do you guys hear Roy and I talking with one another?
Cool, cool, cool.
Okay, I think we fixed it. It was a setting on my end.
Okay. What did you have to change?
I had to unmute the tab.
Oh, okay, okay.
There we go. Very fun. All right. Hey, everybody on the chat is saying what's up to Roy. They can hear both of us. Thank you, guys.
What's up?
Hey, hit a Jackson Dart. What's up? All right. Thank you guys we appreciate your guys as we're working through and trying to figure out some things. Thank you guys. Thank you, YouTube chat. Chris and Adam should be coming back in here in just a minute.
Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. On the air until 3 Eastern, hanging out with you right here on Westwood One Sports. Could Joey Porter Jr. be the next big name defensive star in the NFL on the move? I think the big name that everyone was expecting in the offseason to go somewhere, he was sent to Baltimore and then they retracted, was Max Crosby. Could Joey Porter Jr. be on the move with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Could he be at a contract impasse here throughout camp, and could they be moving on from a corner who wants to be the highest paid corner in all of football?
He could be. I mean, they right now, they don't seem like they're going anywhere on a contract. It doesn't seem like he's going to be playing anytime soon. So it seems like a situation where as we get closer and closer to the season, you might see him on the move. You know, we saw Micah Parsons was traded this week last year.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the week where you could see a big move as we're like 2 weeks away from the regular season starting.
You know, also, has Joey Porter made the classic trade demand? Because in football, when you make the trade demand, usually the contract gets done shortly after.
Yeah.
And the player doesn't actually move on. So we'll wait for that as well. Here's Mike McCarthy talking about the impasse with Joey Porter Jr.
These things are, you know, I've always, and I learned this in my early years as a head coach, you have to separate the business in the football. You know, sometimes it's easier than others. This is a challenge, you know, for both Joey and us, because, you know, we're first year staff. You know, we've seen him play. I've competed against Joey. I would love the opportunity to coach Joey Porter. I know our defensive guys would love the opportunity. So, you know, we're at an impasse right here, and you got to respect that. You know, every one of us has a contract. The organization, you know, they have beliefs and so forth. So, but yeah, that's just kind of where we are.
There's Mike McCarthy talking to reporters from a printing press. It sounded like in the background. They're printing off the Daily News in the background. The Post-Gazette, I believe, is what's out there in Pittsburgh. Ian Rappaport also talked about the Steelers' situation with Porter.
The Steelers do not do contracts during the season. That has been their historic stance, and I expect that to continue. And really, Mike, the reason that they're in an impasse, or whatever you would call it, is because it's pretty clear when Joey Porter gets a new contract, he is going to be the highest paid corner in the NFL. The Steelers, if they're not willing to make him the highest paid corner, probably haven't offered for that reason, which is why we are here, basically where we are now. And of course, what's going to happen, he's a big name. There have been rumors. There have been, I would say, trade chatter around the NFL surrounding Joey Porter, teams wondering, is he available? And look, we do see guys from time to time like this traded right before the season. If you can't get a contract done, teams will call and say, how about this player? And look, he's a great player. These kinds of players generally get traded for first-round picks or premium draft picks. If that is going to happen, that's what I would expect. At this point, it is pretty up in the air where this heads. Steelers can answer all of this with a big contract. Just doesn't seem like they are there yet. So we're going to keep watching whichever way this goes.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. It's now time for the Defensive Player of the Week, brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving all branches of the armed services, veterans, and their families. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Our members are the mission. Abdalla, let's name Joey Porter Jr. our Defensive Player of the Week this
all right.
week.
Works for me. He's not playing. He's not performing. He just wants his money. He's defending his turf.
Yes, he is.
Standing on business.
So there you go. Our Defensive Player of the Week brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving all branches of the armed services, veterans, and their families. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Our members are the mission. Joey Porter. There you go. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Abdalla, I like watching the local news.
You love the local news.
The local news. So let's go on out to WABI 5 in Maine.
You're watching the Maine local news?
Well, something caught my attention.
Okay.
I'm interested in the weather.
Yeah.
I watch the weather.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy playing golf. I like to know what the weather is all about. So when I look for a weather report
in Maine,
I want to see the radar.
Okay.
I want to know the chances of precipitation. I want to know the humidity in the air.
Seems like Maine is past us at that point. Like the weather's past us when it gets to Maine.
Listen, the Bleck Abdalla Show, we're national. I'm keeping an eye on the entire map.
That's fair.
I've got the entire map out there.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep an eye on everything.
All right.
So I tune in to WABI 5 in Maine. Patrick Osborne is giving a weather report. Take a listen to Patrick Osborne try and get through this weather report.
And resulting in the chance for some heavier precipitation, a few bands of storms in some spots. We got to finish up this weather right now. I'm so sorry. I'm losing my mind over here. Plenty of those 70s, some low 80s, and spots on Monday. I'm going to have to step on screen.
What are those noises?
Is he crying? Is he laughing? What is going on with him?
I think he's laughing, but the
is he
laughing
being
is
tickled?
turning into...
Is he being tickled? Is someone going in for a tickle?
This happened before. Oh, geez.
You're right. It sounds like he's sitting on a feather.
It sounds like someone's tickling him. It sounds like a tickle me elmo.
All right, let me get it together real quick. I'm so sorry. Dew points will be falling off.
He tries to get the dew points out.
No, that's a tickle me elmo. That is a tickle me elmo.
Those aren't even words.
No.
Those are just noises and sounds coming out of his mouth.
Let's just throw it to the 7 days. Oh my gosh. 70s and low 80s for Lindarius coastal spots. Different story, a little cooler. Low to the 70s. Josh, please take it. What happened to professionalism?
Yeah, what is going on?
What is that? That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Weatherman.
Jeez. Okay, so then they 2 days later, the professional news desk anchor,
2 days later,
they bring him on to explain himself.
Explain yourself, sir.
So what happened? What set you off?
So it was actually something that I was trying to prank Josh on that kind of backfired. We were, Zoe, our producer, and I were making fun of Josh during the middle of our commercial break. He was yapping away about whatever he was talking about. Okay. And Zoe made the...
as Josh likes to do.
As Josh is.
Just always yapping away. Just not a surprise to this veteran observer of that newsroom. Yes.
Charlie Brown kind of wah 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 wah
the mom.
sound.
Yeah, sure.
The
On the
mom
phone.
calling,
Gotcha.
on the phone.
Okay, yeah.
And so I pulled it up on a video in the Weather Center. Thought it was a 5-second video, quick sound just to egg Josh on a little bit.
Yeah.
Turned out it was one of those hour-long compilations where it just periodically plays it every couple minutes.
Okay.
And so I didn't realize that. I go do my live, forecast after a minute and a half of not hearing anything, and then 20 seconds in, we start getting the Charlie Brown wah 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 sound. And I tried to get through it. Josh had to leave the studio. I was able to contain myself, but when he came back and we heard it one more time, we just started losing it, and the rest is history, as they say.
So there you go. That's what happens. He wasn't being tickled.
You have those 70s, some low 80s, and spots on Monday. I can have this stuff on the screen.
A Charlie Brown sound
sounded like
effect?
he was being tickled.
Listen, man, don't you at that point, I
you
think
rip
people
out the IFB.
People are aware. They wear people on TV wear the little earpiece, the IFB, right?
Rip it out.
Just finish your
Rip
newscast.
it
Like
out.
what? What the hell? What is that?
What happened to decorum?
I've never had this happen before. Oh,
I mean, what in
happened
the
to
world?
what happened to professionalism?
And especially like for us to be on the forefront of this, obviously.
Yeah.
Bleck and Abdalla. I mean, how can you not?
We're on the forefront of professionalism, the front foot.
Yeah, I mean,
of
it's
professionalism.
Jeez. Wow. All right. Charlie Brown, Bleck and Abdalla, we'll be back.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Sometimes hitting a single is just fine.
Well, but I would say this. For the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's also a chance that the number one target on the play was not Colson Loveland. That's probably what he's irritated at. Not stretching the ball down the field.
I just think that look, when Ben Johnson says it like that he would have gone somewhere else, it means that he would have thrown the ball probably to the open receiver. And we've said that, and Ben Johnson has said on multiple, yes, he wants to go for the chunk plays. He wants to do that. But Ben Johnson has also said on multiple occasions that he wants him to take the layups every once in a while. And you don't have to always throw the bombs all the time. You don't have to throw 10 to 15 yards every single time. You can take the layups. And Ben Johnson said that. Not everything has to be 10 to 15 yards. Your average yards per throw doesn't need to be double digits at the end of the day. You can throw 5-6 yards if you see an open guy. And he just told you right there, you can see the open guy and throw it to him. I don't think that, and look, I don't think that means that Ben Johnson's upset with Caleb Williams. I just think that he's frustrated. And if you go back to what happened the week of practice leading up to the game, the reason that Caleb Williams in the offense played on Saturday is because they had a bad week of practice.
in Pittsburgh, in Chicago, in the Boston area, New England, right? You know, just everyone just hold on. Let's just get to the start of the season. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. All right, Abdalla. So there is also more conversation with the Chicago Bears because today they released their rivalry uniforms. The NFL released the rivalry uniforms for a few teams, I believe 8 teams in the NFL. And you
like a burnt orange and like a throwback to like the 40s with this like navy blue and burnt orange. I don't mind them. They're fine. They still got the C on the helmet. They're okay. They're decent. You got the Packers ones are I don't really like the logo, like the Green Bay, the GB on it that they have. Not a big fan of those. My favorite ones, I think, if I'm going through all the pictures here, I think my favorite ones might be the Viking ones. I think the purple Viking ones actually might be my favorite ones, the all purple that they went with. Okay. I think those are nice. Okay. I think actually those might be my favorite ones out of all of them. Okay. My least favorite ones I think are Houston. The all white, just the all white with the blue numbering and the blue stripes on the side. Not a big fan. With the bold city, the scripts that they went with, not a fan of those.
What can you explain to me? So in the video to reveal these new uniforms, the rivalry uniforms in the NFL, which who's asking for this? I'm not. Are you asking for this?
No.
You know what's cool about rivalries in the NFL is that usually the rivalries have been around for a while and they're wearing the uniforms that are classic when they've been rivals for a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't need a new uni for a rivalry.
Yeah.
That's just me. Can you explain to me in the video from Nike and the Chicago Bears releasing said unis, what is Caleb Williams doing?
Sexy pose.
He's sitting with a leg up.
Yeah. Have you seen
what is that? How would you describe that pose from Caleb Williams?
It's a come hither.
So what?
It's a come hither pose. It's something you've got like a one leg up, one leg down.
Yeah. Do you need to do a cup check on that one?
I mean, you don't really need to do a check.
Is there
it's
jock strap involved in this?
I don't think you need to check.
There's a full crotch shot taking place.
Yep.
From QB1.
Yeah.
From the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. I mean,
what is he doing?
QB1 and 2 are on full display, I think, for you right there. Yeah, he's holding his football right there.
Yes, he has a football in the hand. Yes.
Yep.
Can't see the other hand.
No, can't. Well, you cannot see the other hand.
But I don't believe that. I don't believe football pants have pockets, though. So
no.
I think we're all right.
They don't.
Why is Caleb sitting like that?
Well,
what is he doing?
It's an intimidation factor, right?
Oh, is it? Is that what you do?
I think. I don't know.
You intimidate with that?
Sure.
All right.
I think so.
You know, I mean, for a uni that you don't need, it doesn't look half bad.
The Bears one isn't bad.
It doesn't look half bad. I don't know why Caleb's sitting like that. Why is he sitting like that?
The Bears one isn't bad. The Vikings one isn't bad. The rest of them I can kind of do without.
I just don't know why. Why is he sitting like that? Would you take a photo if we had photos for the Bleck Abdalla show? Would you take a photo like that? With a leg up?
No, my leg stays down.
Leg up, crotch out?
No, leg stays down. Leg definitely stays down.
It's a big dude.
Yeah, leg stays down.
Leg stays down.
The large male.
Crotch in, leg down.
Crotch in, leg down.
Yeah.
So those are the new rivalry uniforms from Nike and the NFL. The other thing I wanted to talk to you, since I'm the fashion expert here at Westwood One Sports, Adam Abdalla here on the show. GQ Magazine released a exclusive this morning. Here's the headline. Tom Brady on his new Gucci campaign and becoming a leather pants guy at 49.
Oh, he's a leather daddy?
Apparently, Tom Brady is now a leather daddy.
Okay.
GQ, the exclusive, just posted today.
All right. That's certainly a move to make.
Quote from the quarterback. I thought, damn, that's actually really comfortable. End quote. As the article writes, on his brave new bottoms.
Okay. He's a brave bottom boy. Okay.
I was going to say something else, but I don't think I can say that. But it's the opposite of bottom.
I never understood how leather pants are comfortable.
Yeah,
they don't seem like they breathe.
Well, Tom Brady.
They seem like they would get very sweaty.
His new Gucci.
They seem like they would be constantly swampy.
Campaign.
I feel like it's a wear once type of thing, and then you got to clean them. And I don't know how you clean leather pants. Is it a dry clean situation? Is it a hand wash situation? I don't know.
You don't wash things after you wear them?
No, I do, but I've never washed leather pants before.
That's true.
I don't look at the tag. I've never seen a leather pants tag.
I don't have leather pants either.
So I've
never worn leather pants.
So I don't know. So I don't know how to wash them. So I don't know.
So Tom Brady, there you go. There's the latest GQ, the exclusive. Here's the headline.
Leather
Tom Brady
daddy.
on his new Gucci campaign and becoming a leather pants guy at 49.
Tom Brady, leather daddy.
There you go. There's our fashion expert, Adam Abdalla, here on Westwood One Sports.
You think as a fashion expert I would know how to wash leather pants, but
I mean, you're wearing the fashion. You're not cleaning the fashion.
I'm not wearing it, though.
So it's not.
I'm judging it.
Well, I'm saying, but as an expert, you're not the one that's there cleaning.
Fair.
So, I mean,
Fair.
It's not something you necessarily have to do.
It seems like a dry clean thing, I would think.
Probably it would be. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. What new starting quarterback has the shortest leash in the NFL? We'll answer that question during Power Rankings coming up next with Raj. Football is back and something big is coming on September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day arrives.
New DraftKings customers sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That includes all markets.
That's code BNA26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Connecticut. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas. Bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Canada. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Bet to get bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Trade to get predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. $50 in rewards issued every 7 days via click to claim for 21 days. One non-withdrawable reward redeemable. Terms at dkng.co/offer. Limited time offer. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
The NFL preseason ends this week. Who will make the 53-man roster? And who will be working at Home Depot this fall? We've got the surprise cuts and names to watch. Just a couple weeks from kickoff. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports in the Westwood One Sports app, live from Chicago each and every day. Now it's time to go on out to parts unknown in Colorado, and that's where we find Raj Sharon.
And the next question comes from the line of Raj Sharan with
Westwood 1. Please proceed.
Please proceed. On a Tuesday, it's time for Power Rankings with Raj. What's up, Raj?
What's up, fellas? All right, today's power ranking category, new starting quarterbacks. That is the group that you have to pick from. And by my records, that means you can choose from Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, Geno Smith, Malik Willis. These are quarterbacks that weren't the starting quarterbacks for those teams a year ago. I thought about the Falcons, but it looks like Tua has been so terrible, Michael Penix might still wind up being their quarterback even if he's on one leg. So I removed him from it. So those are your choices. And Abdalla, we're going to get started with this. Who you put in the category first to get benched? Of the new starting quarterbacks, familiar faces in new places, which one is first to get benched?
It is going to be Deshaun Watson, and it is going to happen in week 3. Because I don't think that he can go and start a home game after starting 0-2. I just don't. Like, if it's that bad, like if they lose to the Jags and the Bucks and it looks bad, like bad, he can't go and start at home. They can't throw him out there at home. They can't. Or maybe they do and they just say, hey, this is your chance. And then he's getting booed relentlessly and then they bench him at halftime. And Shedeur comes out and starts at the second half.
I mean, your theory yesterday was ownership pushed it. I mean, that'd be one way for Monken to get through to ownership if he throws Watson on the field, they're 0-2, and he gets booed off the field by his own fan base.
Right? Like, I think it's definitely Watson is the first to get benched. For sure.
I think you guys think the competition is closer than it was.
I don't think it's about competition.
Monken told us Shedeur closed the gap. He told us he closed the gap yesterday.
Gap is closed.
The gap
I could also close the gap to me swimming across Lake Michigan that I'm looking out
it's
at the window.
Far. You can see Hammond.
I can take 2 steps towards Indiana, but boy.
Hammond right there.
I'm not getting much closer. All right. My answer for this one, Raj, will be I will go with Kirk Cousins.
Ooh.
He will be the first quarterback to get benched because I think Fernando Mendoza will be the first starting guy who's a backup in these situations. I think it's Mendoza. I think Cousins will be the first to be benched. I think the Watson thing, I believe what Monken said. I believe Monken is being honest with us in that.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Sweet haircut, yeah.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
I'm guessing that Watson will be the starter for the majority of the season unless things get chaotically bad. And he is, flipping the bird at the fans and he's like throwing his helmet into the crowd or something like that. Something really crazy that takes place. But I think it's going to be Kirk Cousins. I think he'll be the first one that's benched because I think there's still an outside chance that Mendoza starts the regular season. So I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins.
All right, guys. New starting quarterback edition today on Power Rankings. Our next category is, let's see what you got. Who you got here, Bleck? Let's see what you got amongst new starting quarterbacks this season.
If I wanted to be a real wild card with the answers, I would say Deshaun Watson, right?
I'll boo you.
Don't we know kind of what he has?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have the same answer. It's gonna be Kyler Murray with the Vikings, isn't it? Let's see what you got, because now you get the second opportunity, and Kyler can be the next in line from a few guys that we've seen that burned out in their first place. They were labeled busts, and then they go to the second or third place. And now they're a productive quarterback in the NFL. And those names, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, it feels like that's something that now happens frequently in the NFL. And so I'm going to say it's Kyler Murray. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, can Kevin O'Connell become this guy that quarterbacks are just trying to get to, even if it's as a backup, even if it's just like in the room? Can I just, like Daniel Jones, never started a game? Wasn't even, like, I think he was just like third string too. Like, I don't even think he was listed as the second string backup. I think he was third string or like emergency quarterback. He was just in the vicinity of Kevin O'Connell and just got better, right? So is Kevin O'Connell, if this works, will other quarterbacks that this happens to, like if this doesn't work in Atlanta with Tua and he becomes a free agent, will he just go to Kevin O'Connell and be like, please lay your hands upon me?
Well,
and
it's that or McVay.
Yeah, or McVay. Yeah, exactly.
Shanny, one of those three.
So it is Kyler Murray. I was just trying to come up with a different spin on it that it's Kevin O'Connell that becomes the quarterback whisperer guru that turns these guys into these reclamation projects into legitimate starters. And again, if it does work with Kyler Murray, I don't think he leaves Minnesota. They probably sign him to an extension, and they don't make the same mistake that they did with Sam Darnold and let him go to a team that, like, let's say he goes to Pittsburgh or he goes to Atlanta and becomes their starter and leads them to the playoffs next season. So I don't think that happens. I don't think they let him leave if he becomes successful.
Today's Power Ranking category, new starting quarterbacks edition. Interesting, there's only 5 out of the 32. There's only 5. You would think there'd be more with
more new head
so much
coaches
uncertainty
than
in the
starting
league.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's more new head coaches than there are starting quarterbacks in the same home. So we got Malik Willis, Geno Smith, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, and Kyler Murray. That is who you have to choose from. Our next Power Ranking category, Mr. Abdalla, how are you a starting quarterback? That is our Power Ranking. How are you a starting quarterback? Go ahead, Abdalla.
I'm going to continue to say this, and I think we're going to have different answers on this. I'm going to say Kirk Cousins because you drafted Mendoza. He won a national championship. He won the Heisman. Why are we starting Kirk Cousins? You spent $1 billion on your offensive line. I know Genti got hurt. We didn't know this until a few days ago. So take that out of it. Guys get hurt. Washington's a good running back. He's played really well in the preseason. So you have good weapons. Brock Bowers is good. You have a decent offense. Why are you starting Kirk Cousins?
Could the answer be, you guys have talked about this with Watson, beyond of him looking better than Sanders, the money. We've heard about that a lot. Hey, I am paying, if I'm the owner of Cleveland, I'm paying Watson, paying him so much money, you got to pay. They are paying Kirk Cousins $20 million this season.
Yeah, but Kirk Cousins never came in and was like, I have to be the starter. He's always come in and said, if Mendoza's better than me, then he plays. He was drafted first overall. He understands. Cousins understands his role. He knows what he's getting paid. So I don't think he cares.
That's true.
There's a difference, I think, between Watson and Cousins. Cousins kind of knows and is self-aware of where he is in his career. So I think it's just the fact that you have a first overall pick who is not just like some guy. He won the Heisman and the national championship. Like, he should be starting. Come on.
I'm going to say Malik Willis.
That's what I thought you would.
Shout out to good listener Keith, who tweeted Bleck Abdalla. He alerted us to a Dolphins reporter from today. Said shocking news from South Florida. Omar Kelly covers, I believe, the Dolphins for the
Dolphins.
Yeah, for the Herald. So the Miami Herald. He writes, Dolphins practice is over. This is from 2 hours ago. Dolphins practice is over. The Dolphins offense was a disaster. They were so bad that Malik Willis got the team together for a talk midway through. It didn't help. I think it's Malik Willis. He's a backup. He's a backup quarterback. And how are you a starting quarterback? Teams are desperate. And one thing Abdalla and I used to always joke about on our old show in Chicago is that, we can list off all the problems in the world. There is an absolute epidemic of not having enough quarterback talent for 32 professional NFL teams. Mm-hmm. There are not enough good quarterbacks to go around. And at some point, it's somewhere like around 20 where it falls off pretty sharply.
20?
Yeah, I mean, you can find like 17, 18, 19 guys who are decent quarterbacks in the NFL.
All right.
And then it falls off. And then it's a bunch of guys who we're talking about on this list. Malik Willis, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, Kyler Murray in a second chance.
Okay.
So my answer there, Raj, will be Malik Willis.
Sometimes you have a backup who shows something and another team. Mike Lennon, weren't you guys there in Chicago? Mike Lennon, a couple games, and hey, let's go out and sign Mike Lennon. There's always guys like that fit this Malik Willis profile.
He was one of the worst.
It was horrible.
I mean, they pretty rarely work out. The only one that jumps to mind, I remember Matt Schaub kind of working out when he became a starter somewhere else. He was a decent player.
It was okay for a moment.
Schaub was fine.
Yeah.
I'd have to really think on it.
Schaub felt like Diet Hasselback. You know, like, didn't it kind of
Hasselbeck's
feel
another
like...
one, though. Hasselbeck was one. He was
Hasselbeck was
backing up Favre, and he kind of played a little well.
That's what I'm saying is, like, Schaub,
there you go.
Schaub made it feel, because, wait, Schaub was with Matt Ryan in Atlanta, and then he got his chance with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like, okay, yeah, this guy can kind of play a little. Raj, and don't bring up Glennon, because I'll hit you with the Paxton Lynch. All right, don't do that.
That was
us.
a first-round draft choice.
It's worse. That's worse.
There was a running joke for a good decade. They did a little carousel graphic at the beginning of every Bronco game of all the quarterbacks that came and went after Peyton Manning. The better comparison would be Case Keenum, who once got thrown a huge contract.
You want to have a graphic off? We have the
Easy.
every
graphic off. What are you doing there?
We have the every time there's a national game between the Bears and the Packers, it's every quarterback the Bears have had in the time span between
Rodgers
and Favre and Love.
Oh, wow.
It's 3 quarterbacks compared to like 50. So don't get me started on national broadcast graphics, okay?
All right, guys. In our final power ranking category, and this is very important of how I deliver this. As you may have learned back at Columbia College, it's not always what you say, but how you say it. You know, it's your inflection that can go a long way. So our last power ranking category is, could you prove me wrong?
Prove me wrong, kids.
Could you prove me wrong? What do you say, Chris Black?
Geno Smith with the Jets. Could you prove me wrong? Could you prove me wrong? Because I don't want to do that with Deshaun Watson, because you know why? There's no redeeming quality in that happening, right? like if Geno and the Jets surprise people, okay, yeah, all right. Aaron Glenn doesn't get fired. Congrats. Can you prove me wrong?
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll go with that. Go ahead, Abdalla. Say Watson.
No, I still have Malik Willis on the board. I got Malik Willis still on my board.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's Malik Willis. It's you
know. You wrong?
Prove me wrong? Come on. I'm gonna go Principal Skinner on you. Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong, Malik Willis. I think you're a bust. I think you're a backup. You're gonna be a great backup. You're gonna make a ton of money. You're gonna make $40 million over the next 2 years or something like that. That's great. That's awesome money. That's generational wealth. Good for you. But prove me wrong that you're more than a backup.
Yes.
And you're not going to be drafting that's not Dante Moore's team in a year.
And that does it for our new starting quarterback edition of Power Rankings today, guys. Quite the high five of Malik Willis, Geno Smith, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, and Kyler Murray. Just the latest example of, as Chris Bleck put it, we have an epidemic of quarterback talent in the National Football League. These are our 5 new starting quarterbacks as we head into the season.
Thank you, Raj. We appreciate it.
Spider-Man meme. Thank you, guys.
Isn't that great, though? But, like, we really do. Like, think about how the good quarterbacks in the NFL, there are guys that you know are great.
It was Mel Kiper Jr. that said it first years ago.
Yeah. Kiper said it on
during
TV.
a draft, yeah.
And this was 10 years ago, maybe he said it.
Yeah.
You and I are hosting, we were hosting a weekend show in Chicago, and we heard the clip, and we were like, dude, Mel Kiper is so right.
Yeah.
There's like 15 quarterbacks that you trust and you like, and then everyone else, it's a crapshoot.
Because
there's no guarantee.
They're not developing them in college.
Yeah. That was the conversation that we had, is that college football now just uses them and they leave. No one stays in a system and develops. And, you know, we kind of had that same conversation. Remember when Tom Brady was giving his thoughts on having to fight for position and to win the quarterback job, and that kids don't do that anymore. They just jump into the portal and go to a different team.
Yeah.
And then they stand there behind the line of scrimmage. They look to the sideline and wait for someone to hold up a sign, and then they clap. And that's how they call their offense. They don't do anything. They don't learn an offense. They don't do anything. They just stand there.
It's Gruden saying, give me your hard count. And the quarterback just goes,
you know, that was Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart didn't
this
have
year.
one.
And he's like, what do you
Remember
mean?
that?
And he's like, give me your hard count. And he goes, I clapped.
He was at the board, and he didn't have anything.
He goes,
for
what do
Gruden.
you mean you just clap?
Yeah, Gruden was like baffled by that. Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com. Speaking of the epidemic in quarterbacks, could a quarterback be on the trade market because of the lack of great quarterbacks around the NFL, a backup. Could he be on the trade market? We'll tell you who that is coming up next.
Who is under the most pressure this season? Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson are searching for their first rings, while Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield are looking for new deals. Will pressure make diamonds or cause these QBs to crack? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
The one thing that the preseason offers for those who are backups is an opportunity to showcase that they have talent and other teams can see that they can play in the NFL. And so even though we were just talking here on the show about the lack of quarterback depth around the NFL, and we were talking about guys like Malik Willis, how did this guy become a starting quarterback? I don't think he can be a starting quarterback. Is there a quarterback who could be on the trade market who's on the depth chart of a team where they have a starting quarterback and they just drafted a quarterback in the first round? And that's the Los Angeles Rams. Could Stetson Bennett be on the trade market? Because, you know, the Rams have used him here in the preseason. He threw 31 passes last weekend. Are they trying to showcase Stetson Bennett? Is that a player that perhaps maybe a team that needs a good backup, a team that has pretty unstable quarterback play? Could Stetson Bennett be on the move at some point this offseason? You know, we've talked about Anthony Richardson. It feels like he still needs more time of developing to get to that point, to be a quarterback that a team would take a flyer on. But could Stetson Bennett be one of those guys? He's spent time with McVay, and he seems to improve each year when he gets his opportunities in the preseason.
No.
All right. We'll be back here on Westwood One Sports. It's Bleck and Abdalla. I'm going to take a 10-minute break off of that conversation. Thank you.
No, because, you know, Ty Simpson isn't ready yet. You have a 38-year-old quarterback who had a bad back going into the season last year and could be injured at a moment's notice. I would not be comfortable as a Rams fan or a Rams coach going into the season with Ty Simpson as the go-in at a moment's notice backup to Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, and, you know, I would also add to that I don't think Stetson Bennett is quite Sam Darnold.
No.
Or Daniel Jones.
No.
Baker Mayfield.
No,
like,
and if you
not
needed him
that.
for a game or two
that works.
while, you know, Matthew Stafford is out, that could be fine. You've got a great defense. You shored up that defense a ton, obviously. Myles Garrett, maybe Aaron Donald, you know, Trent McDuffie, like a ton of guys. You've got great weapons that he can throw to, and you've got a huge, awesome roster, right? And a great coach to put him into a system that he should be able to get right into. But if Matthew Stafford has to miss 1 or 2 games, obviously an extended period of time, it's over. But if it's 1 or 2 games, I still don't trust Ty Simpson to go in there at a moment's notice. I trust Stetson Bennett for a game or 2. That's about it. And that makes a lot more sense to me. So I don't think he's up for trade. I don't think he's on the trade block. I don't think any of that. Now, if somebody called up and offered me a 2nd-round pick, I'm listening. I'm definitely going to take that because the 2nd-round picks, listen, Ty Simpson, get your ass ready because we're getting a 2nd-round pick for Stetson Bennett. You know, that changes everything. So obviously that would change things for sure. But I do think that at a moment's notice, you would need Bennett over Ty Simpson for sure.
I agree with that. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Hey, Abdalla, do you have any Zoo news?
Yeah, I always have Zoo news, Chris.
Oh, Zoo news.
Well, hello, Mr. Lion. Here's the latest edition of the Zoo News.
What do you have over there?
Oh, Chris, let's go out to St. Louis, where
St. Louis.
A man climbed into the St. Louis Zoo big cat area and was taken into custody.
Okay, I'm glad. You know, I totally forgot to talk to you about this. But last night watching the late local news,
Of course you did.
I saw it and I took a photo and I forgot to tell you
that you did.
that was something that we should address.
Yep. A man was taken into custody Saturday after climbing over a fence and into a barrier above the big cat habitat at the St. Louis Zoo. The incident happened at about 5 p.m. in Big Cat Country. Note, Raj, not your station. According to the zoo, the man climbed over a fence.
That is so inside. That's great.
And onto a barrier made of artificial rockwork above the habitat. He sat on the barrier wall and remained above the actual habitat, never coming into contact with the animals. Zoo guests alerted security and the animal care and security staff responded within minutes. By the time they arrived, the man had climbed back down and returned onto the public path. Zoo security detained the man and turned him over to St. Louis police officers. The zoo said no people or animals were injured during the incident. We know that animals, they don't like to be in the zoo. They want to be let out.
They want to, yeah.
Humans should not be going into...
Yeah, you're not supposed to go in.
Go in and try to let the animals out either.
No.
Let us out, let us out, let us out, let us out. The zoo is overloaded.
St. Louis police confirmed they responded to the incident and that the man has been banned from the zoo. It's very confusing as to why you would do that in the first place. Like, it's almost like you're setting yourself up as bait, said Isabella, who was visiting the zoo on Sunday. Shout out to Isabella for the comment.
Yes, good comment, Isabella.
Yeah, good comment, Chris. And that is what's new at the zoo in Big Cat Country.
Yes.
That's what is new at the zoo.
Don't get that confused with
KTC FM.
Yeah, yes. Raj, do you want to explain yourself?
Just a bunch of inside jokes being thrown around from the jokesters.
Come on, you're not gonna let people in. Tell people where they can hear you.
All right,
Come on,
fine, Raj. We're trying to support the brand.
Trying to support Raj in Colorado Springs, Big Cat Country.
Keeps throwing the big in there.
Silence. Just silence.
BS, Raj.
He keeps throwing the big in there. There is no big.
Oh, it's just no. The name of the place is Big Cat Country in St. Louis.
He doesn't want us to say it's Big Cat Country.
In
Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
A country station. For
country
those who
station
are not following.
That Raj is on.
That Raj is on.
Yeah.
He may go by Roger.
He may go by Roger. Yeah.
Did I just ruin the bit, Raj, by letting
you
people
ruined
know?
the bit.
No, I didn't ruin anything.
You
Come
did.
on,
No,
we're
you
so
ruined
proud
it.
of you.
I guess I should just leave now.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Live from Chicago, it's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. One of the teams in the offseason in the NFL that I think has a chance to go from worst to first in their division. We know that each year in the NFL, there's going to be a couple teams, at least one, that goes from worst to first. Just the same as we know that all the teams that made the playoffs last year will not make the playoffs this upcoming year. And there's going to be someone that we expect to be really good that won't be that in this upcoming season. That's why the NFL is so great. That's why we love the NFL. That it's not predictable, right? And so one of those teams, the New York Giants, I like the hiring of John Harbaugh because I think he brings stability to a franchise that's lacked it for many years. Now, young quarterback Jackson Dart, what they have offensively, we'll see how it works together. Cam Scatabo, Malik Neighbors. If Malik Neighbors is healthy, maybe they can get something out of this offense. Defensively, though, the front seven, the Giants' front seven should be able to get after the quarterback and should be good. Last year, they struggled to stop the run, but if they can improve that just a little bit, the Giants' defensive front should really cause problems for opposing quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they should have a really good defense. They should be a team that is prepared week in and week out. They should be a team that has very limited penalties. They'll be a very disciplined team. Like they won't have a lot of the, roughing the passer and stuff like that. Like I don't see them being a very undisciplined style team, right? They'll be very together. And other than that, though, I just am worried about their offense coming together. You and I are very familiar with Matt Nagy here broadcasting out of the city of Chicago and what he lacks on offense. And I just don't know what to expect from Jackson Dart, from Cam Scatabo, and the rest of that offense coming together, and how long Jackson Dart can stay on the field if he doesn't change his style of play, how long Scatabo can change his style of play if he wants to stay on the field, and what that looks like.
I don't think Cam Scatabo is concerned.
Well, he's not.
I think he's ready.
Giants fans should be.
Yeah.
And what that offense looks like, and if they can win games, 17-10, 14-10. That's cool. But I just don't know how many points this offense is going to be able to put up. And with being in a division with teams like the Cowboys and the Commanders, the Eagles will see how that offense looks. But at least with the Cowboys and the Commanders that look like they're going to be able to put up a bunch of points offensively, are they going to be able to keep up? Or is their defense going to be obviously the strength of their team that leads the way?
You know, one of the
What's up?
Thank you, Jackson.
Thanks, Jackson.
I'd say one of the keys, obviously, is keeping Jackson Dart out of the blue tent. I think he thinks that's his home. I think he thinks that that's where he lives, is the blue tent.
What's up?
He's attracted to the blue tent. He needs to stay out of there.
It's a big dude.
Thank you, John Harbaugh. A big dude, yes.
It's a big dude.
So let's hear from John Harbaugh, because I think a part of the offense that is certainly something that will help the Giants get off to a quick start here offensively at the start of the season would be if Malik Neighbors is ready to play. Take a listen to John Harbaugh on if Neighbors is likely to play in Week 1.
I just don't want to make any kind of statements like that. I think it's reasonable to assume that. Those are all kind of things that you can assume. It's just based on watching the guy practice. But, I know the only thing I know more than you guys know is that what the docs and the trainers tell me as far as his rehab. So, and that's doing well. He's doing really well with that. He's strong. He's in a good place. But how he gets through practice, how ready he is to play and protect himself is really based on practice, So, you're watching practice too, and you can see it.
So there you go. There it is. Reasonable to expect that Malik Neighbors will be ready for Week 1.
Yeah, and that's great for the Giants offense. And how much chemistry will they be able to, put together and have quickly between he and Jackson Dart, and how will this look when it all comes together? And again, it's all about what Matt Nagy, who has left the Chiefs organization, once again left to become the head coach of the Bears, tried to run a Chiefs offense with the Bears. It didn't work because you don't have Patrick Mahomes. You didn't have Patrick Mahomes with the Bears. It didn't work out. You go back with the Chiefs. Your contract ran out, and they were like, "Hey, man, go out and kind of find your own way.
We're good.
We're kind of good here.
You should probably date other people.
We're gonna bring Eric Bieniemy back.
See someone else, man.
We're good. We're good here. It's all good. Don't come back. We filled your office. You don't have a spot here. We changed the parking spots. You're good." And he wants to find his own way and build his own offense. Will it work? It's a complete unknown. And I don't really, could they be a worst to first candidate? Sure. More likely a worst to third candidate for me.
My question would be this. If that's the case, if the Giants are going to be a worst to first candidate, or a team that's worst in the division one season and then takes a wild card spot the next season, I think you have to look at the early setup of the season with the schedule. Their bye week is in Week 8. So the 7 games they have heading into the bye in Week 8. Can the Giants, in those 7 games, be over 500? Can they be 4-3 heading into that break? And here are the teams, here are the games. Home, Dallas, it's the first Sunday night game of the season. On the road, Los Angeles Rams, Week 2 on Monday Night Football. Then they get back-to-back games against bottom feeders. They get 2 home games against Tennessee and Arizona. Then a road game against Washington, a home game against New Orleans, and then a road game against the Texans. If you're the Giants, you're looking at this season, you got to get the Tennessee, Arizona, New Orleans games, right? The 3 teams that you face in that cluster that are all last place teams, right?
Yeah.
From last season. If you get those 3, can you win one of Dallas, Los Angeles, Washington, or Houston?
The problem
on paper today, they are going to be the underdog in all those games.
Well, the problem is 3 out of those games, 3 out of 4 of those games are on the road too.
Yep.
The Dallas game is the only game where they get at home, that first game of the season on Sunday Night Football. The rest of those games, Monday night in Dallas now, or in LA now. Maybe you catch LA because that's the first game after Australia. So maybe It messes with their body. They're still
down under,
coming back from the.
It's a big dude.
A little down under.
Maybe they're coming back. Maybe they still got some shrimps on the Barbie. I don't know.
A little shrimp on the Barbie. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, you have to go to Washington, and look, Houston's
We're so stupid.
Is Jackson Dart going to survive Houston?
Probably not. No.
Like,
No.
I mean,
but it's nice
come
because
on,
it's a
man.
nice landing spot into the bye week.
Yeah.
To prep a backup to replace Jackson Dart
to go against Philly.
Yeah.
To
but
go against that defense.
It gives you an extra week.
Okay, cool.
There, yes.
So 3-4 if you just beat the bottom feeders. If you just beat the bottom feeders, which you get all of them at home, which is good.
Yeah.
But 3-4 isn't horrible.
But that's why I'm saying, like, if you look at it, I think there's opportunity for the Giants to be one of those frisky, surprising teams this year. Again, it's all contingent on whether or not Jackson Dart stays out of the blue tent.
I think what's going for them is the problem is obviously their division is very good with Washington, Philly, and Dallas. But what's going for them is they have to they face Jacksonville, they face the Colts, they face the Browns. Like we mentioned, Tennessee, Arizona, the Saints. They've got some tough games. You know, they face the Rams, we talked about, the Seattle. They have to face the Lions, which is a tough game, the 49ers. But for the most part, they do get a decent amount of easy games. But the problem is, are you going to be able to win any games in your division? Is this a team that can win with their defense? Because I don't know if they're going to be able to win with their offense. I just don't think they're going to be able to.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago, on the air until 3 Eastern. We'll hand it off to Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show at 3 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. KFC is releasing a new Oreo chicken burger. The collab features a cookie-style bun, mashed potatoes covered in crusted Oreo pieces, a fried chicken fillet, and it launches in China August 28th. Are you going to take the trip over to China to secure the KFC Oreo chicken burger?
No. This looks disgusting. First of all, I don't know why, but in the picture of this,
what is that brown sauce stuff?
No, okay, that I believe is
that the mashed potatoes?
I think they have dyed the mashed potatoes brown.
No.
I think they have dyed the mashed potatoes or put a gravy sauce mixed in with the mashed potatoes to make it brown and use the cookie crumble in the mashed potatoes. I don't like it. This looks disgusting. There's a few new Oreo flavors out there. One of them is fried Oreo. First of all, I don't understand how you work fried into a flavor. Like, unless you're frying something,
yes.
How do you make fried a flavor? Unless you're just making it super salty, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense, right? You fry something. Fry is not the flavor of something.
Right? So
like it's Cajun deep fried, or it's, yeah, I understand what you're saying there.
So one of the flavors of new Oreos is fried. One of the new flavors is chicken and waffles.
Isn't there a banana one?
I don't know.
I think there's a banana one, which I'm all in on. I'm down with that.
Okay. I mean, listen, banana and chocolate is a classic. It's a classic flavor. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, banana pudding. So you can get some banana pud. There's nothing wrong with that.
Don't say it like that.
What?
Pudding. Say pudding. Don't say the.
I watch a lot of Great British Bake Off, and they say puds all the time.
It's a big dude.
Okay.
It's just easy with.
No,
with
they
that.
say I'm using the proper nomenclature.
I don't know
and
if
they over there.
I don't know if you are.
They say puds.
I don't think you can say that.
It's pud week.
Easy.
They've got cake week. They've got bread week. They've got cookie week. They've got pud week.
Would you just stop with that? I mean, come on.
What's wrong with pud week?
It sounds like something that like a QVC lady would say that she needs to get bleeped on.
I love to show the texture
Oh my gosh.
and this wave pattern. Again, it looks like you went and got a blowout at your salon. And it looks beautiful.
All right, so here's what's happening today.
All right, so here's what's happening. Or if you're, for say, Raj, what if you're on Good Day Detroit?
If you can provide yourself with food, and again, they're ice fishing because everything is frozen, and you're looking for fat in the beaver.
Yeah.
The beaver is the beaver is the most sought after.
It is.
Ryan, do you think you could eat beaver?
Oh, man.
It's fat and then it's meat.
It's fat and it's meat.
Oh,
Could you eat beaver, Abdalla?
So we
It's
need to get
fat
the
and it's
Good Day
meat.
Detroit anchor with the QVC lady and the weatherman,
Yes, the
and have
giggling
them
weatherman.
create
Yeah.
content trying the Oreo KFC collab. I want to put it all together in one thing.
Listen, I think the best radio producer in the country, I think that's something that could be produced.
Well, I tell you what, guys,
I think
I will
the
try to
very
call
best.
Bill Zimmerman and see if he can pull it off.
I knew you were going to say someone else. I knew you were going to do that. I was setting you up, Raj, to say you.
No,
can do
no,
it.
I'm terrible. No.
And
I will
by
say
the
that
way-
you guys are dead wrong because this thing looks fire. I wish I could
No, it
hop a
doesn't.
plane
Dude, that looks
today.
disgusting.
That looks
so
awesome.
disgusting.
Bad.
So, according to Oreo, the Oreo deep fried cookies features iconic golden fried doughy flavor baked into the cookie itself with fried dough flavored cookies wrapping layers of dark chocolate and fried dough flavored cream.
Oh, I'm so in.
Makes
That's
sense.
awesome.
I don't get it.
It's
And
awesome.
then Oreo chicken and waffle cookies feature a signature waffle texture and embossment and dual layered cream, both infused with sweet and savory flavor notes for a fried chicken and maple syrup flavor in every bite. Then you've got the pud. Oreo banana
Stop
pudding
saying pud.
cookies
Can I get the pud?
feature layers of sweet banana and vanilla pudding in a deliciously delicate dual layered cream sandwich between vanilla wafer cookies. See, that one sounds the most normal. You got banana, the creamy banana, like the Oreo, like the white
Yeah.
part is the banana, and then you got regular like vanilla wafers. That sounds normal. The rest of this stuff is just weird.
I also
There's
think that would be
there's
an interesting job to be the person who has to write the description for fast food collabs, like the one Abdalla just read.
Oh,
Like
it's
somebody had
probably
to
some
come up
intern.
with that.
Oh, it's AI, dude.
It's some AI slop that an intern put together.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm sure that's what this sandwich is. There's no chance this is real. They just put a bunch of stuff into AI, and then this is what it spit out. So now they're going to serve it in China on August 28th from KFC.
Also, I don't know why they don't think this would sell numbers here. Weird people.
All right, so if it's
Weird
this
people?
Friday, what time do I have to take off to get to China to be there by Friday?
It's a
to
long
eat
flight,
this thing?
Raj.
It's a long flight.
It's quite the
And
trip.
you have till the 28th to get there.
Yeah, it's a long flight. Let's see, Abdalla,
Worth
a
the
couple of the texters have thoughts for you. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Chad in California has thoughts. We were talking earlier about there's a new GQ article about Tom Brady. Tom Brady has a new Gucci campaign, and also he is apparently a leather pants guy now.
Okay.
So Chad in California, he texts
Leather
the
daddy.
show. Leather pants are hand washed with a damp cloth after drying, a rub with a microfiber towel. You also are going to have to give it a nice oil rub from time to time.
Okay.
The process is very similar.
Okay.
Finish the rest.
No. I'm waiting for you.
The process is very similar to Deshaun Watson Fun Day Friday.
Oh, okay. All right.
Whatever that is.
I don't know what that means, but apparently Chad in California is also a leather daddy. Congrats to Chad.
He knows how to take care of his leather.
Yeah.
There's also a text there about your obsession with the British.
Mr. Pud over there?
Yes,
If
Mr.
Abdalla
Pud.
wants to sympathize with the British, he can just move over there and telly us about it.
He Abdalla.
See? That was great. That's fantastic.
I'm just
We've got-
talking puds over here, Mr. 503.
I mean, what? Why?
Sorry, you can't handle pud talk.
Why?
Hey, on the
let's
leather
see
pants
also.
thing, was the thing that
Yeah.
happened in Friends, would that happen in real life? Like where they his legs expanded and he couldn't get the pants back on? Is that a real thing? Do you think?
Probably, right? They're tight. Leather pants are tight.
Yeah, well, they can be.
I mean, if you're wearing tight pants,
the ones that Brady looks like he's wearing are pretty
they're
loose.
A lot
They're
of flow. Looks like there's space.
Yeah.
Like you could
room
do
room to roam.
Yeah,
in
room
those
to
pants.
roam.
Room
A
to
lot
roam.
of room to roam.
Room to roam in
You're
those
right.
pants.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. I think you could do some lunges, some deep lunges in the ones that Brady's wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not quite the crotch shot that Caleb Williams is giving with the rivalry uniforms that we were talking about earlier.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Raj is losing it, but I mean, isn't
I
that
can't
what
wait
it
for
was?
that meme. I just can't wait for all the
picture
memes
of Caleb in this new uni that the Bears are debuting, and it's just, why is the leg up? Showing off.
I mean, come on, guys. Every Sunday, if he throws a dot, every Bears fan account is posting this now. This is the shot.
Big dude.
I mean, it's just showing off the whole football package there.
It's all right. You got to show off the.
I guess I don't know
the footballs.
I think it just will add to the conversation.
By the way, the little
people making
patch
fun.
with the H, I'm assuming it's for Hallis, right? But there's already
Yes, it is.
jokes online that it stands for Hammond.
All right, that's enough out of you.
Oh, right. Come on, Raj. Have some respect for the charter franchise of the National Football League.
I do have respect. Do
George
they have
Hallis.
respect for it if they wind up moving it to Hammond, Indiana?
Let's see. How can I put this? I was led to believe over the weekend that remember when we had the conversation 2 weeks ago that they had their press conference and they said that they're focused back on Hammond, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a day later, there was the story that Roger Goodell met with state legislation people in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how I can say this. Let's just say the efforts downstate by the Chicago Bears have not stopped.
Interesting.
Raj, in all the things that we've told you,
Okay.
I've been led to believe that perhaps a new approach has been taken as of late with the officials downstate in Illinois.
Interesting.
Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to fresh
do
approach
with
on
that
things.
what you want, especially those who have joined the Bleck Abdalla show locally in Chicago at this moment. That's what I'm hearing is that
So you're saying,
sources.
you're implying I should cancel my bid to buy a bunch of real estate in Hammond, Indiana, because I think the value is going to go up.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, Raj. I think
I'll buy all those factories and stuff. I was going to maybe put a little hot dog stand or an ice cream thing.
I
Get
think the
people
Bleck
coming out of the
Abdalla
game.
show from the start have made a point to say that we think that Indiana and Hammond was a leverage play, and I stand by those thoughts. I think that's. I think at some point we'll see something take place. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sport. Is that the best way to do that? I think the information that I've heard recently. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. We have the summer of football coming up next. We are way off on one team in predictions that apparently one expert says we should think differently about. There's a team that we agree on that we have a very strong opinion on how they will fare this upcoming football season. And there's a good expert who writes very long columns on ESPN.com. He's very smart. He disagrees with us. We'll tell you who that team is coming up next. Football is back, and something big is coming on September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day arrives.
New DraftKings customers sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That includes all markets.
That's code BNA26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Connecticut. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas. Bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Canada. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Bet to get bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Trade to get predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. $50 in rewards issued every 7 days via click to claim for 21 days. One non-withdrawable reward redeemable. Terms at dkng.co/offer. Limited time offer. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
The Browns named Deshaun Watson their starting quarterback. Has there ever been a Week 1 starter less popular with his own fan base?
Last time I played on this field, I tore my Achilles. And that same fan base, they cheered when I got hurt. So what does that have to do with anything about performance? When a person get hurt, especially for your own city, and they cheer.
He complained about the fans, then immediately was named their QB. That's a new one, even for Cleveland.
You know, it is what it is. You know, sometimes, the tables turn.
Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
B&A live from Chicago, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. Each day throughout the summer, we count down the days to the start of the football season. It's now time for the Summer of Football.
I proclaim this the Summer of
Football!
What the hell's going on out here? We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
We need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots.
The Summer of Football with Bleck and Abdalla.
I throw, you catch. It's not that hard, okay?
Home for Super Bowl 61 in Los Angeles and every big game throughout the NFL season, including the opener between the Seahawks and the Patriots. You're home for the NFL's Westwood One Sports. We are now 15 days away from the start of the NFL season. 15 days away. Oof. We have made it. Football season's here, man. You can sniff it. It's
Easy.
right here. Smell wafting through the air. That's football.
I'll tell you this, man. There's walking to work in the morning, there's a chill in the air. There's a chill.
Yeah.
There's a slight chill in the air. It's getting to be football weather.
The last couple of days here in the Midwest.
Don't be upset about it.
The overnight temps have dipped into the 50s. So if you're an early riser in the morning, the temps are in the 50s, and you want it to still be summer, but it's starting to creep towards the football weather.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with
there's something wrong.
With the crisp to the air. You light that grill. You start your tailgate.
Come on, man. That's the good part.
All day.
You can do that in the warmth.
Football.
Ask people who live in warm climates. They still do that. They still enjoy it.
You know what happens next year, Chris? Another summer.
Yeah, I know.
You get another summer.
Seasons, whatever. All right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. Bill Barnwell on ESPN.com predicting the NFL teams most likely to improve in 2026. There's one team that leads the list that both Abdalla and I agree on that we don't think they're going to be as good as people are thinking that they will be. That team, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. I think we question the offense. It's not Patrick Mahomes. It's the weapons around Mahomes. Can that offense live up to the billing? And then obviously Mahomes is coming off of an injury. I'm guessing Mahomes will be fine. If not, that's going to be a problem. But on top of it, can he make up for the lack of talent that surrounds him within that Kansas City offense? Last year, when he was healthy, the Chiefs were a 500 team. So obviously, the bottom fell out the moment he was out for the season, and they missed the playoffs. I think they lost their last 6 games of the year and missed the playoffs. I don't know if Kansas City, with Mahomes healthy last year, was good enough to make the playoffs. And that's why I think the way I do heading into this season. Bill Barnwell disagrees with us. He thinks there's a reason to look at Kansas City and thinks that they are a team that will improve from last year and that they will be a team that will be much better than what we saw from last season.
Look, I agree with you for all those reasons. I don't need to echo everything that you just said, but I will say this, right? Okay. So Barnwell also wrote an entire doctorate about an entire DSM about this,
Did you take a week and a half off of the show to go read?
Well, he wrote
Barnwell.
Well, he wrote the opposite about guys teams that will regress,
Go
right?
backwards, yes.
And the number one team, and he doesn't rank them. He says
he just lists them all. I'll give you guys the rest of the column here in a second. But Kansas City is the team that jumps out at me.
He did the opposite for teams that will regress, and he put the Bears first. He said, well, Ben Johnson said they're the number one regression candidate, so I have to put them first. He also said the Broncos. Now, the Broncos last year won 14 games, so of course they're the number 2 or number 1 regression candidate. They won 14 games. Like, it's going to be hard to replicate winning 14 games and the division. So I'll do the opposite. The Chiefs won 6 games. Of course, they could, with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, you could say they could fall out of bed and win 8 games, right? Like, that's the idea.
Yeah.
With Chris Jones, with Patrick Mahomes, with what they have built in, with the Hall of Fame coach and quarterback, they should be able to fall out of bed and walk into 8 games. So saying that they're prime to improve, of course they could. Now, the Broncos might come back down to earth, but does regressing to 11 wins and winning the division, does that mean that they regressed? I don't think so. They just didn't win 14 games. If the Chargers win 11 games and win the division, did they improve? No, they still won 11 games, same as last year. They just won the division instead of a wild card spot. So saying that the Kansas City Chiefs will be one of the most improved teams, yes, of course they can be. They only won 6 games last year. I can say that they can win 10, but that was because Patrick Mahomes was hurt last year. If he was fully healthy, they probably win more games.
The big stat that is pointed out by Barnwell is they were 6-11. They were 1-9 in games decided by 7 points or fewer. So in close games, they were 1-9.
Yeah.
You know, and so I mean that is a part of, like, if you say if Mahomes is healthy and you're playing a bunch of close games again, it's unlikely you will go 1-9 again.
Exactly.
And therefore you should be improved. But with that said, when you take Barnwell's column on ESPN.com that the Chiefs are going to improve, I think our opinion also looks at the rest of the division and suggests that the Chargers and the Broncos, to me, are the 2 teams that will make the playoffs from that division.
Yeah.
So like to me, I'm not necessarily saying I'm hating on Kansas City. I'm more so saying I believe in Denver more, and I think I at the moment believe more in the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, if you look at the rest of the conference, I just don't think that the AFC West is a division that will have 3 teams make the playoffs.
Well, and honestly, the Raiders should be a little bit better too. This should be a little bit more competitive. Like, would you be surprised if the Raiders, messed around and beat one of these teams once? Would you be surprised?
No,
okay.
no.
So like if they beat one of these teams once at home, especially the way the Chargers have their injuries on their offensive line. If Max Crosby wrecked the Chargers once at home in Vegas, and that was one of their losses because of their offensive line. If the Chiefs beat the Chargers and ended up, in second place as opposed to third place, that wouldn't be surprising. If the Chargers regressed and only won 9 games and didn't make the playoffs and finished third, and the Chiefs finished in second with 10 wins instead of 6 wins, that's not surprising to me because of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I just don't think they're going to win their division and win like 12 or 13 games because of the personnel around Patrick Mahomes in the offense.
The other teams that Bill Barnwell lays out, I think you and I probably agree on most of these teams. So teams that are likely to improve this upcoming season, Detroit is listed. They were 9-8 last season. They're 2-5 in games decided by 7 points or fewer. Mm-hmm. That's a stat that we've talked about the entire offseason, is that Detroit last season in tight games, a lot of them did not go their way. But they're a good team. They got 9 wins in that setting. 2-5 in games decided by 7 points or fewer. So Detroit's on the list as a team that can improve. Also, the New York Giants are in the conversation. Last year, 4-13, 1-6 in games decided by 7 or fewer points. So you have the Giants, you have the Lions. You also have the New York Jets. Now, the Jets are a team, right? Like any improvement is an improvement because they're at the bottom. Right? So, like, I don't know. Do you really care? Like, the Jets, yeah, perhaps they could be a little bit better. Geno Smith could maybe be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Aaron Glenn's the most likely head coach to be on the hot seat early in the season.
Yeah.
In the league.
Mm-hmm.
But they could improve. And then the final team that could improve this upcoming season from Barnwell's column, Baltimore. 8-9 last season, 1-4 in games decided by 7 or fewer points.
Yeah, I mean, everybody believes that Baltimore is basically sharpied into the AFC Championship game at this point because with a brand new head coach, too.
Yeah.
Thinks that they're just going to waltz into the AFC Championship game and face the Bills, which, the NFL script never goes that way with the way you think. But with the stacked defense and, a fully healthy Lamar Jackson, we'll see how it goes. I think they can. I think they will. But you never know how things go.
So there you go. Bill Barnwell on ESPN.com. The teams most likely to improve in 2026, this NFL season. KC, Baltimore, Detroit, both New York squads. I think a lot of that makes sense. I'm surprised New Orleans isn't in this column because I feel like a lot of people are pointing to the Saints as a sleeper team that could improve in this upcoming season.
Well, the problem is he wrote this recently and they've dealt with a lot of injuries. And so
it'd be Saints. The two teams would be Saints and Commanders. I've seen a lot of people high on the Commanders as well.
Well, the Commanders are in a very tough division as well. I mean, we were just talking about the Giants being a decent team and how their defense can be good. They got to deal with the Eagles and the Cowboys, and someone has to be bad in that division. Someone's got to be bad, right? And I think it's going to be the Commanders or the Giants. I don't think it's going to be the Cowboys or the Eagles.
You and I were joking earlier on the show. Okay, so there you go. 15 days out from the start of the football season. Earlier today, Nike and the NFL released new uniforms for the rivalry matchups.
Yeah.
Right? So there's 8 teams, a bunch of different divisional matchups where they're going to have new uniforms for the games. You want to talk it like earlier on the show, we were talking about how Ben Johnson, Bears head coach, perhaps is a little, annoyed with a play from Caleb Williams in a preseason game. I don't think it's a big deal. Earlier, this is just an insight to how Ben Johnson operates. This is from Brad Biggs, covering the Chicago Bears, longtime reporter, very good covering the Bears here in Chicago. He writes, the Bears marketing department should be thrilled with Ben Johnson. He was asked about the club's rivalry uniforms that were revealed this AM. He didn't know about them. Johnson asked, what uniforms? The franchise has a coach singularity focused on football, and that's what matters. So we're talking about Caleb Williams with the crotch shot photo of the new uniforms that's going all over. I mean, how else do you describe that?
Yeah.
You have a leg up on the table.
You're right.
You're sitting back, a controlled sit, leg up. Wrong. What else do you call that?
You're not wrong.
I mean,
I just think it's funny,
Ben Johnson didn't even know the uniforms were released.
What uniforms?
He had no idea.
You think he cares about what they're wearing on a week in and week out?
He doesn't care.
Come on,
it's hilarious. Man. He had no idea.
I love it.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. All right, let's do it. We are 56 days away.
Goodbye.
From the opening night of the NBA season. Right, this is what Raj wrote for us for the tease. ESPN made their predictions. Should we for the NBA season? We'll do that coming up next.
Who is under the most pressure this season? Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson are searching for their first rings, while Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield are looking for new deals. Will pressure make diamonds or cause these QBs to crack? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Check out the pod of Bleck and Abdalla on Apple and Spotify. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the Bleck and Abdalla show on YouTube. You can watch the show live right there on YouTube each and every day. Thank you to Raj and Roy for producing. And also Jim Rome's coming up in 13 minutes right here on Westwood One Sports. I think Raj is having a little fun with us, Abdalla, because we've counted down the days of the summer to the start of the NFL season. We have a highlight of each day called the Summer of Football. We love talking football throughout the season, so we count down. We look forward to it. It's been so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And as we count down the days, today we're 15 days away from the start of the football season. Raj would like to point out that we are 56 days away from opening night in the NBA season.
Because we did our NFL predictions 55 days out. So I figured that was too on the nose. 56 felt right for NBA predictions.
For NBA predictions. So, Abdalla, I will concede the floor to you. Who do you have in your predictions for the NBA, which no one's thinking about right now?
56 days out. Matriculating our way through the fall.
It's not fall yet.
We're putting the ball in the front court.
It's almost fall. I drove by a Spirit
We're
Halloween on the way to
side
the
to
studio
side.
today. They're selling PSLs at Starbucks right now. It's basically fall.
Oh, I know they are. The pumpkin spice stuff is out.
You ever pumpkin spice yourself?
No, I have not. Not yet this year.
Raj, are you a pumpkin spice guy?
My wife's big into it. I'm not as much under the PSLs, but the pumpkin spice muffins and donuts and stuff, I can get down on those. Not as much as I would get down on that Oreo KFC thing, though. I'm still stuck on that.
That's disgusting.
A pumpkin pie is good.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. All right. 56 days out to the start of the NBA season. No one's talking NBA. We're talking football. We're ready for football.
I'm still waiting for LeBron to sign something.
College and pro. LeBron signed.
I got the ESPN NBA summer forecast right in front of me. Here we go, guys. In the East, they've got Knicks, Pistons, Cavs, Sixers, Celtics. In the West, Spurs, Thunder, Nuggets, Rockets, T-Wolves. We're 56 days out. Can you feel it?
I was going to say, no, I can't. And Raj, what I was going to say is Abdalla mentioned LeBron. I don't know if you guys, I think it's Bloomberg has a story up about LeBron.
I did see that. Why spend your money when you can spend someone else's?
LeBron.
Oh, interesting.
Is Pablo Torre going to find out about LeBron now?
How would you describe the article that Bloomberg has out there, Abdalla?
Ruh-roh.
Explain to us.
He may or may not have also borrowed money from the same, from like Mark Walter, right? The same guy? From the Guggenheim?
I think it's the same concept.
Same concept?
I think what Bloomberg is reporting is that days before LeBron signed his deal with the Lakers, he took out $300 million in loans from a company, an insurance company that is tied to the group of Mark Walter that also owned the Lakers and the Dodgers. I believe that's what I'm reading. I was trying to read it as we were hosting the show. It was posted like as we've been on the air.
As we started,
I haven't really been able to read the full article, but that's what it would appear is the report is about.
Yeah. So it's not good, I would say. It's not necessarily bad. We don't know anything. I don't know anything.
His new salary in Philly, he's going to be playing until he's like 80 to pay that off.
I think what is pointed out from the Bloomberg business article in LeBron James is that when LeBron signed with the Lakers, this is from 3 hours ago. It says when LeBron James signed with the Lakers for a $154 million contract in 2018, it wasn't the biggest deal he did that year. Just months before he joined, an LLC he controls borrowed almost $300 million from a pair of Midwest life insurers. And then those insurers were arranged by the Guggenheim Group. And I believe that's the group that Mark Walter is a part of that purchased the Dodgers and the Lakers, correct?
Yes.
If I understand how this all works.
Yeah.
So that's out there. So Raj, So is it possible that us paying for our life insurance policies is just put money in LeBron's pocket? Is that the way to read this as common folk giving money to these companies?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Right? Okay.
Maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Well, that's a nice way to borrow almost $300 million.
Sure.
Say though, guys, way to throw a big old wet blanket on 56 days out from the NBA start of the season. I was so amped up.
I'm just saying that's the only NBA thing that I've seen today that's out there. I don't think anyone's celebrating that we're 56 days out from the season.
I'm not trying to alarm anybody, but I've been watching a video of Jamar Chase grabbing his knee, and it is not
Ooh.
Does not.
I'm watching. That's what that is?
That's what that is. That is a video
I
of
saw that video too.
That is a video of Jamar Chase landing awkwardly and grabbing his knee, and it does not look pretty.
Charlie Clifford covering the Bengals for NBC5 Cincinnati. The video shows Jamar Chase. He landed awkwardly after a deep route, comes up grabbing his knee, walks off the field onto the sideline, and immediately goes down onto both knees and then rolls over and sits and is holding his knee.
Yeah.
That is not good for the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, it's a clip that's just posted, so we don't know what that actually is. Could be okay, kind of like the Ashton Genty up in arms situation over the weekend where everyone thought he was done for the season and it's just a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
So you'll have to wait for the Bengals to announce and give an update on Jamar Chase. But I would say it's never good to see one of the best wide receivers in football limping off the field, grabbing their knee, and then sitting, holding their knee.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's, he was running a route, and then basically there were two defenders around him. They basically, he kind of got away from them, and then as he's coming down, it looked like as he was coming down, he twisted his knee and went right down, got up, limped, and then as soon as he got to the sideline, went right back down and started grabbing his knee.
Yeah.
And then it says he walked off on his own with a trainer. So walking off on your own is good. Not needing someone's help is usually good, but we'll see. Something to keep an eye on.
You know how this stuff works until they do the testing,
of course,
and they get the MRI back. They you don't know.
Yeah.
That's and from watching the NFL, that's why like Sunday's great. Monday morning, you find out someone's out for the season because of
let's not put that into the world.
Well, I'm just saying that's you don't know until they do the test.
Yeah.
So it'll be definitely something to keep an eye on over the next 24 hours in Cincinnati. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show's coming up next right here on Westwood One Sports.
This is Westwood One Sports.